Death and Dementia video 18, and I'm hoping that you don't get to this part with dementia with your loved ones, but a lot of people do. So if you do, let me tell you, it's rough and it just doesn't get better. If you talk to doctors, experts, there's not a happy ending to this. And the kind of way I look at mom and dad's life is kind of like Game of Thrones. You got this beautiful, exciting story for years and years, and then it's just an absolute shit ending, unfortunately. And so right now we're at the point where we're trying to do whatever we can to um, try and bring some happiness into their lives every day and keep them occupied and things like that. But you kind of get to the point where there's really not a whole lot that's gonna make them happy, and they don't remember one moment to the next. Anyway, so mom and dad have been together, like I said, 44ish plus years, and the day after they had to be separated, mom didn't even know who dad was, and she was staring at a picture of him. When I went there, I had to tell her how long they'd been married, that he lived with her up until the day before. She didn't know what he did for a living. She knew nothing about him. And a lot of that's actually come back. It does go back and forth. And they're in the same facility, so she can go visit him every day. It's hard for both of them. He he'll remember her, I guess, often. Certainly not all the time, but often after they talk for a while. And then he doesn't want her to go, and she has to go to her side of the building, and he has to stay on his side of the building. And so that's tough on him, a lot of crying, and it's tough on her, the same thing, because she hates to leave him. And they really take care of the people in the building well. I mean, my hat's off to the people that do that for a living. That's got to be an absolute tough job, watching people go downhill like that every day. And so we're happy that they're in the place that they are, and they keep really good track of dad. They know when I went in there, they knew exactly where he was in the facility, which you have to keep track of those people, or they're going to wander. So when my brother and I go now, I'd say 99.99% of the time, dad has no idea who we are. And once in a while, a little spark will come into a conversation, and he'll mention my name or my brother's name. Still not sure if he associates the person he's looking at, because I think in his head he's picturing his kids as little kids, and then he's looking at my old fucked up face, and it just doesn't make sense to him. And he doesn't understand why he is where he is. Mom goes back and forth quite a bit too. She doesn't really understand why they have to be separated sometimes, and then sometimes she does, and you have to explain things over and over. And I think for mom, kind of like the death of our older brother, which made both of their dementia really shoot downhill, I think the stress of this separation is doing the same thing for mom. And she was going quick before, but not a doctor, understand that, but from my experience and my brother's too, stress really speeds this thing up. And her memory wasn't good before, but now it's absolute crap. She remembers how to dial her cell phone, and I'm getting 3-4 calls a day. My brother is too. The friend that helps us out is getting the same thing. And one of the things too that I mentioned before, that I'd worked out with family members to call me or my brother if there's a problem, which is a good thing, so it doesn't get too chaotic. But now mom's dialing everybody and not sure what's going on, and she's, there's a noise and I'm not sure what it was, and I don't know what medication I'm getting, and it's just everything's spun. The TV never works, and all those things too, and it's in her head. And so then all these people start calling us, and so the phone calls are all day long. all day long and all night long, and you're getting phone calls from people. So it's a lot to keep up with. Mom doesn't remember prior conversations now to the point that just a conversation you might have had an hour before really is not in her memory anymore. One of the calls, well, two of the calls yesterday, she was pissed, and she's got having stomach issues and some diarrhea, and that's a week and a half ago it was the reverse, constipation, and so I called the doctor and got a laxative prescribed, and then when you tried to explain it to her, she'd no, I did not have constipation, I did not want this, and why would somebody give it to me? And you can't explain what happened a week and a half ago to her because it's not going to get through, period. And so you just kind of, or at least what I'm doing is just kind of dropping the conversation, trying to bring up something that's a bit better subject, but she's also getting upset pretty quick, pretty easy, and for her, that's not like her at all. She's never really been an angry person at all. She's always been nice and talkative, and I mean, she's German, so she's got that German side to her, but she's never really been a whole lot of, I guess, drama, and now it's constant drama because it's just being drummed up in her head. So good news, my brother got the Jubilee working in Mom's room, and from what we can tell, it works just like they're saying, and my brother can control it from his phone. The part of the Jubilee, there's a video phone call thing. We're still trying to figure that out and how to teach Mom how to answer it. So she has to answer it. We're not quite sure if there's a way we can answer it for her or not, but we're still working on it. But so far it looks really good, and we're probably going to end up getting one for Dad's new apartment. And that's one thing you have to know too, is when they're separate like this, we had to, you're probably $12,000-$15,000 into it right off the bat, because you have to pay for the new room. Now you're paying for two rooms, and then you have to furnish the entire thing, bed, TV, and all that stuff too. And that's kind of what is keeping us busy now. One of the things my brother's working on is we have all these old family videos, and we're going to try to digitize them and put them on maybe a loop. So it just plays in a loop in Dad's room, because he won't go in and turn the TV on to look for a show or anything like that. But if we can just get some family related thing playing on a loop, we're hoping at least that's going to be good for him. And I'll let you know if we figure out something for that. If you know anyone in these facilities, or you have these facilities around you, one thing I found out from this one is board games. They run short on board games. They have a limited budget. I mean, the price for these places is freaking ridiculous. But you get old people with dementia, and they lose a piece in them, and so then the game is shit. And so we went through a lot of our old games, we bought some new games, and so if you have old games, you might check with a senior center around you to see if that's something that they're interested in taking, because you need something to keep these people busy. My wife wouldn't let me donate our old Twister game. She thought that was kind of a shitty idea, but we did donate quite a few games, and they really need them, and you can see the people around there playing them, so at least that's nice. I'll give more updates later. Until then, God bless you all, and God bless the United States of America. Thanks for watching. I'm hoping these videos are going to help somebody out there. Please look at the attachments to the videos. I've attached just the websites of some of the people who I speak to, and I've also attached my Amazon Associates links to some of the products that we've used for Mom and Dad, and some other things that look like they would be helpful for people in similar situations. God bless.